as a coach with elite athletes, are you their friend or their coach?
I'm their coach.
Okay.
Like, I'm their coach. I'm not, I mean, you have to have a rapport with them.
Sure.
And some people need to have more of a friendly atmosphere. Me and Adam, we do coffees and dinner once in a while. You just have to have an idea what they have going on outside the track.
Sure.
And some is just, this is business. I'll see you at the track. This is what we're going to do. And if you mess it up, I'm going to let you know. And if you mess it up again, I'm going to call your manager. You mess it up again, I'm calling your sponsor, and that's going to be it.
Yeah.
Like, the biggest thing is, like, if you, like, I always like to look at the different eras, right? And so, like, you look at Leroy Burrell and Carl Lewis and those guys, Santa Monica track clubs, and you used to go to Mount Sac back in the day and be a packed crowd, and you watched the way they acted, and they were very professional. They were kind of standoffish or whatever, but you could see it was their profession. They were there to make money, right? And then you go to, like, Maurice and John Smith's group during that time with Maurice and Otto and Drummond and those guys, and they had a little more of a relaxed feel for it, and the powerful groups were starting to form, but man, they got it done. And I love to watch, like, Maurice, like, from warm up area 1 to call room 1 to call room 2, and then stepping onto the track behind the blocks. Like, you watch that transformation, and then now, like, you kind of see, they think it's sportsmanship, whatever, but you see the athletes are a lot more friendly. Yeah. And I think some of the competitive edge and some of the stuff that the fans loved from all the craziness, like, you'd hear about fights off the track and you hear about different things. And now everyone's hugging after races. And I'm just like, what are you hugging about? Like, that person just took your paycheck. Why are you hugging them? They just beat your ass. Like, so, like, some of the stuff is weird to watch for me. Yeah.
No, Maurice is a warrior, and I always enjoy that. And I just remember the story when I took my son to his first Olympics in 2004. We were watching the semifinal of the 100, and I told him who was going to make the final as they lined up, because I saw who was business and who was focused and who was looking at the 80,000 people on the track. Yeah. And I told him, you can't be a fan when you're on the line, And that was one of the things that, when I watched you, especially I watched you and I watched Lance, you guys have that great ability to be able to interact with the athletes, but also they know that you're their coach. And I just think that that's important. And there has been a change, and I miss the personality thing sometimes, I think especially that's one of the things that people liked about Usain Bolt is there was personality. Now, was he nice to people? Sure. But there was also some personality there too, And
he could enjoy the moment, but then turn it on.
Yeah. And I think
and run fast. And then, but he wasn't, I mean, after races, you didn't see him worrying about hugging people and doing doing his victory laps and showboating. And so anyways, it's just trying to find that balance of how friendly you can be, how you can push them, and what you need to do. But, like, the different eras are all different. Like, and something like, Banks, told me from the very beginning, like, you always have to act like you've done it before, whether you fail or whether you, coach someone to a gold medal, like, act like you've been there before. And that's why I stay on the warm-up track. Cause, like, I mean, when Nia won last year, I think I acted like a fool, and I'm like, doesn't happen too often. Normally I'm like, oh yeah, that was supposed to happen. But, we had talked about how fast I thought she could run like throughout the year, and, her running that fast there, but
that was pretty impressive. I mean, I'll tell you, because that was, I've tried to explain to people the conditions in Doha, with the exception of being in the stadium. And it was one of the hottest places I've ever been in my life, and
I mean, luckily, we based in Germany before we went to Doha, and it was exceptionally hot in Germany, like when we were training. But, we, like, a lot of people use the indoors to warm up and train at, but we didn't. We stuck to our normal training schedule. We stayed outside and always used that area. We went back and forth. So we were kind of, like, set on how we wanted to do things, and it worked out. But it was kind of a crazy World Championships.